Around the NFL, we have had some NFL trade deadlines happen today. A lot of players have moved on to new teams. Some have been traded to new teams. Some have been cut from new teams. So we're just going to dive right into ESPN and see what they have to say about the trades. So starting with the Chargers, okay, the Chargers traded cornerback Taylor to Jets. For a 2028 conditional seventh round pick. Okay, so the Jets grade is a B. The Chargers grade is a B. The Jets and Chargers snuck in a trade right before the deadline that helped New York fill in some nickel depth after the Jets had previously dealt Michael Carter II. Taylor had been buried on the Chargers depth chart, playing only 12 defensive snaps this season, but he did get on the field in previous seasons and has played 682 covered snaps over his career. In that time, Taylor has recorded 1.3 yards per coverage snap, worse than average for a slot corner, and 33 total EPA. So that is one of the trades that did happen today. The next one will be the Saints. The Saints trade offensive tackle Penning to Chargers, okay, in order for the Saints to get a 2027 sixth round pick. The Chargers' offensive line situation looked great heading into training camp. Now it's just bleak. Season-ending injuries struck Rashad Slater in August, and now Joe Alt too. The interior has struggled. Overall, the Chargers ranked 29 in pass block win rate and 27 in run block win rate this season. And that's with Alt playing great when he's on the field. So when he's not on the field, we obviously see that. But that's really low for the Chargers to be ranked like that, especially with their record. But it usually happens, I mean, what can you do? What can you do? Somehow they are 6-3 and contenders with a 76% chance to reach the playoffs and 4% chance to win the Super Bowl, according to ESPN Football Power Index. Though those numbers don't truly reflect the all injury. Making an offensive line move made sense. The question is whether they made the right one, of course, because whenever you're trading the player to the new team, you want to make sure that player lives up to that expectation. You're watching that player play with the other team and see how they are. Maybe they will benefit a little bit more when they're traded to the new team. Okay. A next one that we have, the Browns trade edge rusher Tyron Shayonkin to Bears. Okay. So the Browns will get a 2026 round pick for their trade that they did with the Bears. That's what the Browns will be getting. The Bears needed pass rushing help even before Dayo Odeyingbo, I want to make sure I'm saying the names right, okay, suffered a season-ending Achilles injury Sunday. They made a small move to increase their depth at the position on Tuesday, but one that hardly moves the needle in terms of their overall pass rushing threat. Tyron Shoyinka was buried on the depth chart in Cleveland and has played only 31 snaps this season behind Myles Garrett, Isaiah McGuire, and Alex Wright, all the defensive players. He'll get more of a chance to play with the Bears, rotating with Austin Booker, who had a nice 2025 debut on Sunday, and Daniel Hardy. Okay, so we'll be able to see Mr. Trae Young and what he's going to bring to the table on the defensive side now that he is with the Bears. All right. Another big one, another big headline. Okay, Jets trade defensive tackle Williams to Cowboys for defensive tackle Smith picks. Okay, so that is who the Cowboys get. They get Quinnen Williams, and the Jets in return they get defensive tackle Mazi Smith, a 2026 second round pick and 2027 first round pick. So those are the players that the Jets will eventually get once the draft starts back around. There's no other way to put it. This is a horrific trade for the Cowboys. A lot of people were going crazy when they seen this news broke out. They really, really did. They really, really did. It is completely unfathomable for a team like Dallas to be trading away major draft resources for a soon-to-be 28-year-old defensive tackle on a salary-heavy contract in a season when it has a 7% chance to make the playoffs. Yeah, because right now Dallas isn't doing so good. They are not doing so good. They just lost to the who was that? The Broncos that they just played. The 20 was it 27? No, I'm sorry, 34-24. Was it that? Yeah, I think they had just lost to them. I can't really remember the score, y'all. It's too much to really be in depth. But for them to pick up Quinnen when they have a very small percent chance of making the playoffs, hey, I mean, that's what they wanted to do. But I mean, it's no surprise. Dallas always has just very crazy stories that come out of their organization. It never fails. It never fails. As part of this deal, the Jets acquired Smith, a former first-round pick who failed to make an impact for the Cowboys. Smith was supposed to be a run stopper for Dallas, but it never came together. He was relegated to 5 games as a backup this season with a 29.3 run stop win rate that is below average. Hey, it is what it is. I mean, like I said, they picked Quinnen up, and that's what the Jets got in return. So Cowboys, I mean, they just always they're always really just making things worse at this point. They really are just making things worse. All right. Next one that we have, y'all, the Saints trade wide receiver Shaheed to Seahawks. Okay. It's no, no surprise really that they picked up Rashid Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed. Yeah. And it's not surprising they really picked him up. Now he's gonna be in our division as a rival, because you've always been with the Saints. So the Seahawks get that, and in return, the Saints get a 2026 fourth round pick, a 2026 fifth round pick. So when the draft starts, those are the picks that they will be getting, okay? One of the NFL's hottest passing teams just got hotter. I mean, Sam Darnold, he is doing his thing over there. Our division is the toughest. 3 teams with 6 wins. Come on now. And then you just got the Cardinals sitting below, but our division, it's always a little crazy. It's always a little bit hectic. It never fails. The NFC West never fails. The Seahawks currently rank 3rd in EPA per dropback, 0.25, and first in success rate on dropbacks, 53%. And now they're adding Shaheed in a move that makes sense both on the field and in terms of where the Seahawks are as a franchise. Yeah, all it did was just boost their sales and everything. It just boosted the organization. It made it a little bit better now that they picked him up. We should have picked him up. I don't understand why we didn't do any of that. John Lynch, your day is coming, sir. Your day is coming because you should have known better. You really should have. As a compliment to Jackson Smith and Njigba, I expect Shaheed will run downfield more often and be a bigger threat in that role than rookie Torrey Horton was. When Cooper Kupp returns, he and Shaheed will make a nice pair for secondary threats behind one of the best receivers in the league in Smith Njigba. Yeah. Hurts my heart to read that, but I mean, hey, I don't know. We could have got him. Maybe we couldn't have got him because the salary cap, there's a lot of stuff you got to look at when you're trading players to certain teams. The salary cap get bigger, the space. How much will that player be getting with their contract? Like it's all of those factors you have to think about when you're trading these players around. It is, okay? Next one, we got the Jets trade cornerback Gardner to Colts for wide receiver Mitchell. Okay, so the Colts get Sauce Gardner. He's no shame, he's no secret or whatever. Sauce Gardner, he's one of the best cornerbacks that really has just been with the Jets organization. I'll just start right there because he was with the Jets. A 2-time Pro Bowler, too, at that, so for the Colts to be picking him up, that just made even the defensive side, the whole organization, but that just made even the defensive side great. Great. But they didn't give the Colts a good grade. They graded him a D. For the Jets, they graded him an A. So, because they get in the wide receiver, Adonai Mitchell, with a 2026 first-round pick and a 2027 first-round pick. So, back-to-back years. Wow. Only 4 months after inking Gardner to a lucrative extension, the Jets sent him to the Colts in a shocking move. And you know what? They were absolutely right to do so. This was a home run for the Jets, considering the 4-year, $120.4 million contract Gardner was on and the compensation they received. 2 first-round picks and Mitchell, a second-round pick a year ago. So, I mean, you can't get really any better than that. They did a good job actually getting Sauce Gardner. Like I said, on that backfield, they did a great job. It's understandable that the Indianapolis figured that this was a time two strike. The Colts have had the best offense in football by EPA per play, 0.18 this season, and the eighth best defense, minus 0.02. Daniel Jones dropped to seventh in quarterback rating, 70.6, after a bad game Sunday. But the Colts possibly have the best rushing attack in the league. Of course, they are one of the three teams that is 7-2. I mean, can you believe that? We're actually speaking about the Colts being top up there. If the playoffs was to start today, the Colts are the number one seed on the offensive side. Eagles would be the number one seed on the NFC side. So, I mean, who would have thought we would be seeing the Colts is one of the best teams in the league? Because for a while now, before Andrew Luck left the league, he was good with the team. Ever since he left, the slump has been downhill really for the Colts. But they're trying to find their niche and get back on the rise. So that was obviously a good move for them to pick up Sauce Gardner, at least on the defensive backside. So it's pretty good. All right, next we got Raiders trade wide receiver Mayers to Jaguars, okay? So the Jaguars would get Jacoby Mayers. The Raiders would get a 2026 fourth-round pick, a 2026 sixth-round pick. Both of those would be in the same year when they're getting the players for the NFL draft that's going to be coming up next year, okay? The Jaguars opened the season believing they had an elite pair of young wide receivers in Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. It hasn't worked out that way. Not really. It really hasn't. Thomas has had a shocking drop-off from his expectational rookie season, so much that he has been speculated as a potential trade candidate. Hunter hasn't lived up to his draft hype so far, though he was showing some positive signs prior to suffering a knee injury that landed him on IR. Yeah, of course. I mean, we've heard about Travis Hunter, but I mean, his name just ain't really been sticking out like that. I wonder why. You get hyped up coming out of the college, but once you're in the league, it's like your name is out there floating, but it ain't really out there floating. If y'all catch on, you get it. If you don't get it, oh well, try to catch on. All right. The next one that we're going to do, we got the Cowboys. They add linebacker Wilson to their defense. Okay, so the Cowboys will be getting Logan Wilson, and the Bengals, they will get a 2026 seventh-round pick, okay? Both grades for the Bengals and the Cowboys are great. They are great. There is something a little assuming about the Cowboys. Desperate for help on defense, which is true. Turning to one of the only teams with a worse defense than their own and trading for a linebacker that team benched. Yeah, they end up benching Wilson. So now that we know. Yet, that's the situation. A day after Jerry Jones said he'd make a trade, and less than 12 hours after the Cowboys were set by the Cardinals. Excuse me, I said that wrong. It was set by the Cardinals because it came out here. On Monday Night Football, Dallas acquired Wilson from Bengals in exchange for a seventh-round pick. Okay, Wilson, 29, started 65 games for the Bengals since being drafted in 2020 and signed an extension prior to the 2023 season. He recorded a 32.5 run-stop win rate in 2025, almost perfectly average among qualifying linebackers. So they did a good thing with at least getting some kind of help on the defensive side because they need it. They need it. And Trayvon Diggs, he ain't living up to his height either. He's not living up to his height. How he was before, that's kind of going out the window. Kind of going out the window, ladies and gentlemen. But at 3-5-1, should the Cowboys be acquiring players at all? In general, I actually don't have an issue with making a small move like this, despite them having a 7% chance to reach the playoffs. I mean, hey, they got to pick somebody up on that team to bring some kind of spark back to the organization. They do. Dallas is on a kind of wave right now at this point. So, all right. We got the Titans trade edge rusher Jones to Ravens, okay? So the Ravens will get Draymond Jones. The Titans get conditional 2026 fifth-round pick. That is who they will be picking up, okay? I was skeptical when the Titans signed Jones to a one-year, $8.5 million deal this offseason. He has been a bit better than expected in Tennessee, racking up 4.5 sacks, up from 4.0 last season. That's even more impressive considering how the Titans are behind, which reduces pass rush opportunities. His pass rush win rate, at edge has ticked, up from 10.5% last season to 11.6% this season. But that number is still below average for an edge rusher. He's ranked 31st out of 49 edge rushers in pass rush win rate. They're talking about just this win season alone. So that's really low. How he's ranked, you in the bottom 10. You're not even in the top 10, but you're in the bottom 10, damn near, of the not so great edge rushers. They got some work to do, obviously. This is a logical move for the Titans. They're going nowhere in 2025 and are currently sitting on $108.6 million in cap space in 2026 per overthetop.com. So it's unlikely that Tennessee will receive the compensatory picks for departing free agents. They need to deal as many players on expiring contracts and then consider moves for others for as much draft capital as they can acquire. Yeah, we already know they're not going to go any further. So make the moves right now while you can. And then when the season starts again, maybe better and new players will be able to come in and fill in those holes that are needed. Okay. The next one we got, Eagles land edge rusher Phillips from Dolphins. Okay. For the Eagles, they get Phillips, and the Dolphins, they get a 2026 third round pick. All right. Even though Smith couldn't return from an injury soon and Graham is coming out of retirement, Graham, he's coming out of retirement. So that'll be another good thing for the Eagles as well, because they'll get Brandon Graham out of retirement back on their forefront. The Eagles felt with a good reason that adding talent at an edge rusher was a priority and made a move for Phillips, a good pass rusher in the final year of his contract. Injuries hampered Phillips' career with the Dolphins, which the Dolphins aren't going anywhere as well. He suffered season-ending injuries to his Achilles and ACL in 2023 and 2024, respectively. But when he has been on the field, Philip has always been quite impressive. He recorded 8.5 sacks as a rookie and then followed that up with a 7.0 sack season in 2022, which he boosted a 23.9% pass rush win rate at edge that ranked 5th at the position that season. He has a 17.1 pass rush win rate at edge for his career and is at 16.5% this season, both a shade above average. So every year he is excelling. He's getting better. He's growing. He's expanding. That was a good trade for them to pick that up. All right. Ravens trade cornerback Alexander to Eagles. The Eagles are getting somebody else. They're getting Alexander. And the Ravens get a 2026 round pick, okay? Both of their grades are good. This is a good trade overall. In general, I respect throwing multiple darts at a problem, especially a team with repeat Super Bowl champion aspirations. That being said, the chance that Alexander is the solution looks quite unlikely. He managed to play just 14 regular season games across 2023 and 2024 with Green Bay, largely due to injuries. He signed a one-year, $4 million deal with the Ravens in June, but has played just 2 games. 2 games. And the Ravens aren't really doing good this year. They're not. If they win the last, whatever, how many games is left, maybe they could have a potential chance at the playoffs. But more than likely, that's just not going to happen, because they are, what are they, like 2-7, I think like 3-6. Yeah, that division is just, it's already going a little boo-boo. So you're gonna go ahead and give it to the Steelers really at that point. But the Ravens, yeah, they're not gonna go nowhere this year. They're really not. All right, Jets trade cornerback Carter to Eagles for wide receiver Mechie. The Eagles picked up 3 people. 3, you guys, 3. Okay, the Jets get wide receiver Mechie III with a 2027 6th round pick. Okay, this trade was good. They both get B's for the grades. The Eagles needed a 3rd cornerback and hope they found an upgrade in Carter. Philadelphia is in good shape at the other 2 corner spots with the second-year players Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. but with DeJean most effective in the slot, the outside corner spot opposite Mitchell has been an area of concern. So they needed somebody really opposite of Cooper DeJean since he's more in the slot. Now that you picked up Carter, he can be able to be on the outside corner, looking in, having DeJean and Mitchell back in case the receiver gets past him when he's doing the route. You have DeJean in the slot, and you have Mitchell on the outside corner looking in, which is good. Carter's contract runs through 2027, and he is due 10.25 million in cash in each of the next 2 years. He has 1.4 million fully guaranteed next year per overthecap.com. At that price, the Eagles might keep Carter long term. It likely depends on how the rest of the season shakes out. But as far as this season is concerned, the Eagles are betting that Carter gets back to his former level of play while DeJean upgrades the outside spot. That seems reasonable. Yep, it does seem reasonable. Like I said, the Eagles, they picked up 3 players, so they had a good little trade going on with their organization. Okay. Next, we got the Patriots trade safety Dugger to Steelers. Okay, so the Steelers will be picking up Dugger. The Patriots getting in return a 2026 round pick. Okay, this is a good trade as well. They both get B's for the grade. Dugger has 69 career starts and was particularly well regarded, during a 2022 season that included 2 pick six. But he has played only 101 defensive snaps for the Patriots this season. He was due the prorated reminder of the 9.75 million salary he was owed. But the Patriots are picking up some of that, which makes sense and was probably necessary for a deal, to get a deal done. Between that, Pittsburgh need and Dugger's past high-level play, I think it's worth it for the Steelers to make this move, especially since it doesn't cost them much for draft capital. Yeah, like I said, when you're trading the players or whatever, all of that plays a factor into it. But what the draft capital would be, the salary cap, the salary, the space room, what would the player contract be now that they're with a new team? Like it's a lot of different factors that play in. But they did do a good job with this trade. Kudos to the Steelers, kudos to the Patriots. Very, very good. And plus the Steelers right now, they're probably going to win their division if they keep winning the rest of the games. So. All right, Patriots trade edge rusher, edge rusher, White to 49ers. Okay, so we do get Keion White with a 2026 7th-round pick. The Patriots get in return 2026 6th-round pick. Okay, so we did good with this trade. Let's clap it up for you guys. Clap it up, 49ers. We did good with this, okay? The 49ers need pass rushing help. We really do. Since week 4, the first week after Nick Bosa's season-ending ACL injury, the 49ers ranked 26th in pass rush win rate. We ain't doing so good, y'all. We ain't doing so good. On my team, we ain't doing so good. It's okay. It's all right. Because we still find a way to win at the end of the day. What Fred want to be saying? The dub. We get that dub. At the end, we get that. They got some help from Bryce Huff, who looks as if he's back to the form he showed with the Jets. But Huff recently suffered a hamstring injury that is expected to keep him out this week. The 4 players who have played at least 100 snaps along the 49ers interior defensive line are Alfred Collins, Jordan Elliott, Kalia Davis, and Michael Williams. They've all been doing good, holding it down. They all have. They've been doing good. You got to give kudos, okay? None of them have a double-digit win rate. Enter White, who I think could be a quite useful addition. That's right. Bring it on in, White. Bring it on in. It was clear White fell out of favor in New England. He was buried a strong depth chart with Harold Landry III and Clavon Chasen having nice seasons on the edge, and Milton Williams and Christian Barmore playing well inside. But considering that the 6-2 Patriots should be harboring deep playoff expectations, the compensation they receive does not make up for the loss in depth. Should injuries strike, they might wish they had White back. So we got White. I'm glad that we did end up picking him up. We do need help. We do. Because, like I said, just about mainly all of our starters is out. we do need help on the defensive side too. If you compare the two, they probably got a little bit more of their starters on the offensive side than they do on the defensive side. So we do need that help on the back end. So we did good. He did good job. All right, the next one. Titans trade cornerback McCreary to Rams. Okay, so the Rams are going to get Roger McCreary, conditional 2026 6th-round pick, and the Titans get conditional 2026 5th-round pick. Okay, this is a good trade as well. Both of them got these. The interesting aspect of this is that the Rams already have a nickel they were presumably happy with in Quentin Lake, whose 0.9 yards allowed per coverage snap is 6th best among slot corners with at least 100 coverage snaps. Look, the teams in our division, they getting some good people. Like I said, we got Keon White. So he gonna do what he do. Do what you do on that side, on the defensive side, okay? All right, the Browns trade cornerback Newsome to Jaguars for cornerback Campbell. So the Browns are going to get Campbell with a 2026 7th-round pick via Eagles. And the Jaguars are going to get Greg Newsome the 2026 6th-round pick via Jets. Okay, this is also a good trade as well. Both of them got Bs. Very good trade for you guys. We got ourselves a challenge trades of sorts. The Browns and Jaguars, two teams on opposite ends of the contention spectrum, decided to flip-flop 5th-year cornerbacks. However, because of their very different contract situations, this isn't exactly a like for the swap. But let's start with the players themselves. Campbell was off to a rocky start this season, allowing 1.6 yards per coverage snap, well above the 1.1 average from the outside corner. So depending on your position, that's how much coverage that you're covering, whether you're allowing that defender, that receiver, or even running back to get past you those yards, or if you limited them. You come up to the line, all of that stuff. That he also allowed 1.6 yards per zone coverage snaps was even worse because corners tend to have lower yards allowed per snap in zone, and the Jaguars played a lot of it. Now, 1.6 is a career worst for Campbell, who posted a solid 1.0 last season and had gotten as low as 0.6 in 2022. Like many corners, Campbell's career has been up and down, just like a roller coaster, okay? Now to the huge part of this deal. The difference in these two players is their contract. So Campbell signed an extension during the 2024 offseason, notably with the Jaguars' previous front office reckoning that runs through 2028. So Campbell contract, his is still obviously going, and it's not going to end until 3 more years is actually up. Campbell's deal includes $13.1 million in fully guaranteed 2026 money and non-guaranteed $16 million and $16.5 million in cash in 2027 and 2028, respectively. Okay, we got to keep that in mind. This only makes sense for the Jaguars if they believe Newsome is an immediate upgrade. But is he? I don't think that was the consensus opinion heading into the season, and I'm not sure the numbers suggest a change of heart. So we'll see what happens when it comes to the Jaguars and the Browns and the trade that they did, But I mean, they were graded good. So this is obviously not too bad of a trade for them to do. Okay, we got Ravens trade Oweh to Chargers for Gilman. Okay, so the Chargers get the edge Oweh for a 2027 7th-round pick, originally from Rams, and then Ravens get the safety, Alohi Gilman, with a 2026 5th-round pick. This was also a good trade as well. The Chargers lost a starter in Gilman, but they have veterans Tony Jefferson and Elijah Molden still on the roster, along with Derwin James Jr., though he mostly plays as a nickel. Gilman, like Oweh, is in the final year of his much cheaper contract, so they'll have to reconstruct his contract and put him on a new contract and things like that, since his contract is really almost up. This is his last year really with that. So after that, they'll have to really aspire him to do another one. With both Oweh and Gilman impeding free agents, compensatory Yeah, compensatory picks are a factor worth considering. If the Chargers and or Ravens don't re-sign the players, they could each net a compensatory pick in return. That's potentially more beneficial to the Chargers, considering edge rushers get paid much more than the safeties. Though the Chargers have so much cap space next year, they might be spending in free agency and thus not getting any comp picks. So hopefully they don't do too bad with them when the NFL draft does come next year. All right. All right, y'all. We got the Browns trade quarterback Flacco to Bengals. So I did do a video over that. Uh Flacco, he is with the Bengals now and stuff because they did trade him. So he had an okay, I forgot what team that they were playing that Sunday, but he had an okay game that day. So I did do a video on that. If you guys want to go check it out, make sure you do. It's already on the channel. All right, Texans trade offensive tackle Robinson to Browns. So the Browns get offensive tackle Cam Robinson, a 2027 round pick, and then the Texans get the 2027 sixth round pick. So this is good trade as well. The Browns get an A for the grade. The Texans get a C for the grade. So they did make a good move when it came to that, okay? Then the Titans trade cornerback Brownlee to Jets. So cornerback Brownlee Jr., a 2026 7th-round pick, and the Titans get the 2026 6th-round pick. So they'll get their pick first with their rounds. This was a good one as well for the Jets to go ahead and pick them up because, like I said, the Jets are not going anywhere, but try to pick up some players for that team. That way, when next season starts, you know, the new player that was traded on that team, they'll know what their expectation is and what they need to do from there. You know, let's see. I don't get why the Titans would want to deal Brownlee for so little right now. Rebuilding teams should acknowledge who they are and deal veterans for draft capital, but that's not Brownlee. He is a young starting corner who netted very, very little in return. Perhaps the Titans got tired of Brownlee penalties, or maybe there is another factor we aren't seeing. Brownlee missed the Titans week 3 game injury with week 3 game with an ankle injury, but that seems unlikely to be a major consideration. So hopefully that wasn't really the main thing or main reason why they did end up trading him. You know, who just knows for sure. Hopefully it wasn't that, okay? All right, y'all. This is the last one. We got Jaguars trade running back Bigsby to Eagles. Is that 4? That's 4 players that the Eagles have picked up. That is 4 players the Eagles have picked up now. So the Eagles, they'll get him, Tank Bigsby, and the Jaguars, they'll get the 2026 5th-round pick, 2026 6th-round pick. So the Eagles, for this, they got a grade of C-. The Jaguars got a grade of A. Okay? This was actually really, really good for the Jaguars to pick up, like I said, and the help that they need as well. This is a nice result for Jacksonville, though. It seemed likely that one of Anthony or Bigsby would be dealt after the addition of Tuttle in this year's draft. That it happened now is an upset. But in exchange for 2nd or 3rd string running back, the Jaguars are receiving a 5th and 6th-round pick. That's a great value, and it hardly leaves Jacksonville shorthanded considering Bigsby didn't start. So those are the trades, everybody. Those are the trades that did happen around the NFL. So if you guys like this video, please give it a fat thumbs up. Comment down below what you think of all the trades of everybody being traded from every team just around the league. Comment down below. While you're at it, like this video. Don't forget to share this channel with anyone and everyone that you know, whether they like sports or they just want to hear somebody give their opinion about something. If that is all, I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay played up.